If you're curious about augmented reality and want to see some interesting applications of it used at the famous Grand Canyon, then this is the video for you. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to the Fractal Labs YouTube channel. We are an XR development firm. On this channel, we're mostly documenting, experimenting with a cool augmented reality app called aka OVR, aka Over the Reality. It seems like they're ironing out some details about their branding, but what we do know is that the app works and people are buying the lands and people are publishing some cool stuff. In this video, we're gonna go to the Grand Canyon and witness some experiences that are published by Overland themselves, as well as a lot of user-generated content. And we'll dive into that right now.
Mr. Dog's already chasing us. Barbie.
Just crazy. First, I wanted to give y'all an overview of what it looked like. What a beautiful day. It was a bit overcast, but I think we caught some decent lighting and you can see into the canyon. I know my first reaction to this was there's a lot more trees than I thought. And when you get close to the edge, you do feel it in your diaphragm. It's like boom, 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 boom. And it does have a really big impact, and I'm glad that we went here as a location to try out some new things. We today is me and my friend Dina. Dina is also part of Fractal Labs. We did publish an experience here for the novelty of it, but we could not find it. And although we were able to load the app and have it show us all these lands around us, tons of them that were sold. So a lot of people thought it was a good idea to buy land at the Grand Canyon, but none of them were live. None. We published a live one, but I couldn't find it, and I still think Over should be able to alert you of being near a live experience that is farther away from you than it currently allows. Because right now you have to basically like be right on top of it, and I want it to be like, hey, over there's a live one, over there's a live one. Ideally, we could change the settings where it's like, tell me when there's one within 20 feet, tell me if there's one within 5 miles. It would be cool to get pointed in the direction rather than having to try to load the web app and do research with those purple numbers. It's not as fun, you know. It's like, I want to explore. That's even what the button says, like explore Overland. Give me a breadcrumb, point me in the right direction. That would be great. Since the explore option wasn't the right fit for the day, no problem. We'll use the non-remote browsing feature where you can look at either the most viewed, the most popular, or the most recent. I like to use the most popular. The first one I loaded was the Barbie Girl experience. It is familiar. We've loaded this and played this before, so if you've seen older videos from our channel, you're familiar. But look how fun it is here at the Grand Canyon. I wish that the music was playing, because when you are using the app, you can hear the Barbie Girl music, and it's, you know, as loud as you want it to be. It was playing when I recorded this, and it was awkward. It looked like I was just like watching a music video, like, oh yeah, I'm here at the Grand Canyon, like watching a music video. That'd be so silly. But I was actually recording really cool content, so anyway. I'm serving you a 3-ring Circus for this one. It is from Overland themselves. It is part of the game center, so in the same place where you could load the zoo or play that basketball game I've shown you before. You wouldn't think like a house would make sense as AR for the Grand Canyon, but it was actually pretty cool because of being able to look through the windows of the condo at the Grand Canyon through it. And the only thing that bummed me out about it is that if I were to try to explore the condo itself, I would have fallen to my death. So I had to be careful. But other than that, I think this worked, and I think it's really cool. It serves fantasy. It serves what if. It gives you the serenity that the designer had in mind when they created this fictitious home, and then elevated it because it was at this amazing location. Did it take a while to load? Yeah. Oh well. Worth it. Worth every second. I got this one from the most popular section, and with some tweaking, I felt like this really worked. I was able to create a fantasy by placing something that couldn't actually exist on that cusp of believability, because it would be too dangerous for a human to actually dance in this way on that ledge. But with AR, it is now possible. So we're starting to edge on that use case of creating imagery that is rad and pushes the limits of possibility. And I think it looked pretty cool. I tried it with a few different filters in post, and I would love your feedback of which one you think is the best. Does it look more real when it has like no filter, or does it look more real when there is a filter because it washes it all together? You know what I mean? Let me know. This is a little different. It's an art gallery, which is a common type of experience for Overland or any AR, VR experience. These may or may not be NFTs. That doesn't super matter. It is cool to be able to show your art anywhere. And if that somewhere is at the Grand Canyon, that is dope. I think this looks really cool. And if you wanted to make it so anyone could see your art anywhere, this is a great use for that. And I think it's working really well. We also had a little fun. Me and Dina, I convinced her to do a jig for us. So say thank you to Dina. I will be looking in the comments for those thank yous. The most viewed augmented reality experience on the OVR app is titled Rubber Duck. The rubber duck scenery shares with it an elephant, and I think the elephant looks very cool floating over the Grand Canyon. I get a very contemplative, meditative, silent beauty, and feel as though I'm looking at the Grand Canyon with an elephant. The elephant and I are sharing this experience. For the May 2022 AR Awards, I designed this really cool space scene based on the film Voyage to the Moon, and this is what it looks like at the Grand Canyon. Last piece of extended reality I have for you is the giant bee. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it delivered exactly what it said. It is indeed a giant bee. I think this bee looks very grounded. I love how its feet are so flat on the earth and how it consumes the whole space and, adds a bit of extension to the reality. If you want to visit any of these lands, you can do that. The OVR app is free. You can get it in the Apple Store or Android, and all you have to do is search for the lands that displayed on the screen. I'll also have the name of the lands attached below. Each experience is assigned to the lands, and the lands are also called hexes. Each hex has a 3-word name that's kind of a code systematically assigned to each hex. So the words are not created by the owners or the designers or anything like that. They're already assigned. When you purchase the land, you just get what you get. But that is how you can pull up these experiences and see them yourselves. If you create any videos with these lands, let me know. I'll totally check out Giant Bee in your apartment or Giant Bee at your kid's school or whatever, you know, in your meth den. Don't send me a picture of a meth den. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure hanging out and chatting with you about what's exciting me in this app and in augmented reality in general. There are lots of apps doing cool things. This is just the one that I'm learning, and I'm excited about augmented reality as a whole. It's happening. It's coming to fruition, and we're just starting to scratch the surface of what the applications can be. What I'm still left wondering is, when am I going to be able to map the Grand Canyon? When I originally booked this trip to the Grand Canyon, I thought I was going to be out here mapping it, doing that map to earn, and I know they released it in beta several months ago, but I would love an update. Please, please, please tell us when we can map, because that's when AR can get actual super cool. I'm glad you watched till the end. We do have a Twitter. That's a great way to reach out to us, or just comment below. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you at the next one.